Good afternoon, Barbecue Nation. It's Nikhil White, Red, White, and Brew Barbecue. Back at it again, doing another video. I know it's been a while, I apologize. Today we're going to be making birria. Birria? I don't think that's how you say it. I'm not very good at rolling my R's. Birria, spelled B-I-R-R-I-A. Birria. What is birria? So, birria is, today we're going to be using beef chuck roast. So it's going to be a stewed beef mixed with roasted or braised in chili sauce that we're going to be making from scratch. Y'all come along with me for the next couple of minutes and we're going to show you how to make this awesome traditional Mexican taco called Birria Tacos. Alright, so when I start my birria, I am going to start with de-seeding these chilies, and I'm going to soak them in some beef broth for a little while just to soften them up. The chilies that we're going to be using today is guajillo, so guajillo chilies and ancho chilies. I think ancho chilies is probably one of my favorite. This is not hot at all. It adds, I don't know how to say it, a very raisiny sweetness, complexity to it. You can see how tender it is already. So all we're going to be doing is kind of reconstituting or softening up these chilies. So we're going to start with kind of getting rid of the stems and the seeds. I'm going to run my little Gunther scissors down here. Am I? And I'm going to be trying to take out as many seeds as possible. Not much in this one. All right. So I got one over here. And look, if you don't get all the seeds, don't worry about it. You don't need to get them all out. Sometimes I may not even cut. I might just kind of open them up. Watch, I'll show you. See, this is very fresh. If you use older chilies, you'll find that they're a lot more dry, less malleable. These are kind of like, I don't know, dehydrated tomato skin. See, these are really fresh tomato chilies, so I really like these. Okay, so we'll do the last two. Then we'll do the same thing with the ancho chilies, and we're gonna put these in beef broth and let it start. Kind of just let it simmer or let it steep for probably 10-15 minutes. Last one. Oh, how many? I guess it depends on if you want it to be a little sweeter. If you want your chili sauce to be a little sweeter, you could add more ancho chilies. If you want a little more red, a little rich, you could add a little more guajillo chilies in there. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and take these chilies. Let's see, I got my beef broth already heated up. Pretty much just gonna chop these in a couple of pieces each and stick these in my beef broth. Hot. So, while I have the chilies soaking or steeping in the beef broth, just to reconstitute them before we start making our chili sauce, we're going to go ahead and cut up this beef. I got some beautiful chuck roast from Costco. I really do believe that the quality of the beef over there at Costco is second to none. Really good product. I'm just going to rough chop this. Look at the marbling in this, y'all. You see that? And this is just any stewing meat will work. Beef short ribs, if you want. You can take off some of this beef fat. You can leave it if you want, if you like the flavor. I'm going to take off just a couple of pieces. Going to work my way down this middle right here. Using my beautiful favorite Gunther Wilhelm knives. Thank you, Mr. David. All right. So, just going to rough chop these. Because remember, this is going to be stewing for 3 or 4 hours. And I'm going to be getting a lot of flavor and a lot of texture. So it doesn't matter if the pieces are too big or whatever. But I don't need a piece of fat in my mouth every bite. But I am going to want some of that gorgeous fat in there. Look at all that interstructural marbling. It's just gorgeous. Be dropping this in a I'm gonna season this up, drop this in a pot here in a couple minutes. All right, once again, fixing to start frying up some beef. Squirt a little oil in there. Gonna do this in layers to not overcrowd my pan. Gonna throw a couple pieces of beef in there. And I'm just looking to brown up all of the sides. It's gonna soften up and finish cooking inside of the pan. I'm actually gonna be sticking this in an oven today at 350 degrees, probably for 3 or 4 hours. We're gonna let that fry up. We'll get all the sides. We'll remove it from the heat. Over here on the right, I have those chilies you saw me put in the broth earlier. Just kind of reconstituting them. See, they're getting a little more tender. And we're gonna be sticking those in a blender here in a short bit. All right, so now I am flipping over this beef. Got some beautiful color on this. Check this out. Okay, just flipping it over. Browning up all the sides, and then we'll remove it from the heat. And in a couple of seconds, I will be, what's next? In a couple of seconds, I will be making the chili sauce. So, y'all stick around, that's coming up next. All right. So this is the last batch. Got a lot of color on this. I'm going to be removing it over to my bowl. All right, so now I'm going to lower the fire just a little bit, and I'm going to drop my onions in. In Louisiana, we call this the Holy Trinity. So you can just put onions, but we so often chop up onions, bell pepper, and celery. And so now I'm just going to sit here and fry this. Let some of that liquid pull up the gratin. The gratin is that little tidbit of gramies and crusties that are all over the bottom. Look at all that color getting on them onions already. So I guess you could say I'm taking a little bit of my Louisiana cooking mixed with a little bit of Mexican. Got all that color. A lot of that's from the meat, the gratin that was on the bottom, and I can feel it already. Look, it's already clean. So I'll probably add a little bit of beer in here. I mean, it is birria, didn't we say that earlier? So birria, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. So we're gonna let these cook down for a couple of minutes. And then we're gonna add the meat back in. And we're gonna see how this goes from there. All right, the onions have been cooking for a couple of minutes. They're getting soft. They don't need to be completely cooked. Remember, this is going to be braising in liquid for 3 hours or so. So I just want to add some color, get some of that gratin we talked about earlier cooked off the bottom, which is completely gone now, soaked into the onions. This is apple cider vinegar. So just a little bit of tang. I like a balanced flavor when I'm cooking. So I got spicy in my beef and my chilies. I got some salt. Now I'm bringing some tang or some acidity. And of course, we're fixing to make the chili sauce and pour everything together. So let me put the beef back in here. Lower the fire a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and start incorporating everything. So first is going to be the beef, followed by the chili sauce, which you're fixing to see me make now. One of my favorite parts to grab is this. Look at all the juice that came out of that. Oh, just natural beef stock. Give that a little push around. We'll be adding the chili sauce here in a minute. All right, so if you've made it this far through the video, you realize that we de-seeded and steeped some chilies in beef broth. We have cut up some chuck roast, browned it in a black cast iron skillet, or black cast iron pot, excuse me. And we also fried up some onions or softened up some onions for birria tacos that we're making later on this afternoon or evening with my friends and family. So what we're doing now is we're going to be making the chili sauce. And I'm going to show this to you. We're going to pour this in the pot, give it a good stir, and then we're going to stick the whole thing in the oven for approximately 3.5 hours. So let's see how to make this. Got my chilies here. I'm going to pull them out and stick them in this blender. Now this is 3 Guajillo chilies, 3 or 4 Guajillo chilies, and 3 or 4 ancho chilies. I could have added more. I'm kind of just making this recipe up, so I really didn't know how much to add. But I'm looking to build flavors. So one of the ways I'm building flavors is starting with the chilies. Oh, look how dark that beef is, y'all. With the chili, with the rehydrated chilies in there. All right. So to that, I'm going to add 1 can of diced tomatoes. Nothing fancy. 15 ounces. This whole using recipes things is new to me. I just normally just cook to flavor and to taste. But I want to make something that is repeatable, that y'all can make at home, that is approachable. This is 2 smoky chipotle peppers. I like adding a little bit of the juice in there as well, so maybe 2 spoons. And remember, there's a lot of beef in there, so that it may not be as spicy as you think, but if you are afraid it's going to be too spicy, mix some, come back later, add some more. Let's see, we got a tablespoon of garlic, a tablespoon of Mexican oregano, a tablespoon of my favorite cumino or cumin. Believe it or not, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon goes in a lot of Mexican dishes. And I'm actually not going to add all of this salt right now, but this is a tablespoon, nope, 2 tablespoons, excuse me, of salt. So I'm going to add some, but you can't take the salt away, right? You can always add it. Going to go ahead and pop this in my blender. All right, what I'm looking for is I want the chili sauce to come to the top of the beef. Don't need it completely buried, just somewhat even. And I am a want not, waste not type of person, so I'm actually going to be taking this leftover, pouring some beef broth in here as well, and kind of get that last bit of juice out of my blender. Last little bit. Checking it out. Make sure everybody's in the pool, ready for the party. I'm liking the consistency. And see how I still see some beef showing through, so it's not completely buried. I think I'm going to stop right there. Now I'm going to take this and put this in the oven for 3.5 hours. And we'll come back and try it. And later on this afternoon, we'll be making the tacos. And in the oven we go. All right, so it's been 3 or 4 hours since I got this going. Pulled it out of the oven. I wanted to bring it out here and show this to y'all. And what you're looking for is for this, all of these cubes of beef to just shred apart just by barely touching them. So I'm putting them on the spoon, and you see how they're just kind of falling apart. So this is what birria looks like. All those chunks just kind of fell apart in the pot. And now we're fixing to take these pieces of meat. We'll walk it over to the tribal fire grill. Ching! And make tacos. Inside joke, Al, sorry. All right, so we got everything going. Got the meat all shredded up. Let me move the camera over to the tribal fire, and I'm going to show y'all what we're doing, what the next step is. Y'all hang with me one second. All right, so this is my pot of birria. This is my Tribal Fire grill we have going, and what we're doing is we're gonna actually dip these tortillas that were pre-made. They are Mexican, true handmade tortillas, but they have this staleness to them if you kind of see. So what I like doing is I'm going to take one, and I'm actually gonna dip it in a little bit of juice. A little bit of juice that came off of the top of the birria pot, okay? And we're gonna take that and we're gonna set that down and we're gonna let that start frying a little bit. Do that again. Taking the gravy, if you will. It's got some love in it, I'm gonna tell y'all. And we are frying this just for a couple minutes to soften it back up. You see right now, what I was trying to show you is that when I take this tortilla and I fold it in half, you see how it just broke? Just by folding it in half, it breaks. Well, not only does not make a good taco. So, this is how you make a good corn taco. I already see it bubbling, so I know I got some heat going. I'm gonna do another one. One other thing I wanted to mention, I was thinking earlier, there's actually such a thing as birria soup. Told you I'm not very good at rolling my R's. If I would have added more beef stock, more bell peppers, and more onions, I could have just simply turned this into a soup and would have been a good hangover meal with all the grease and everything in it, and it is delicious. All right, are we ready to flip yet? Let's see what we look like on the other side. See how malleable it is now? That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. A little bit of crispy. A little bit of crispy. Oh, I'm loving it. Let me get my fork, show y'all what's going on here. Okay. You can overstuff these tacos. Trust me, it is a thing I like to do. But if you overstuff them, they might still bust on you, so try to be easy. I'm telling you, I think I may have overstuffed that one. I can't help it. This is so good. Number 2. Got a couple of friends over. They went swimming, but they said the water was too cold. It started raining. So we are probably going to end up playing games inside and eating these tacos. Uh-oh. See, I got too excited, didn't I? All right, let me back off. Let me back off. Let me back off. All right. Final step. Queso. Queso. One more pinch of queso. All right, I'm gonna fold over my tacos now. I like to give a little press. And that's it. We're gonna leave this on for a couple minutes and flip them over and we'll be ready to eat. All right, so it's been frying on that side for a couple minutes. This grill is not too hot. Look, see, even though I fried, I still got a bust right there. That's what I'm talking about. This is exactly the reason why we soften up our tortillas first. So I did have a blowout, so let's get another one going. Good thing about this is I got plenty of tortillas and plenty of what I hope to be happy mouths. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I'm so excited. All right, these 3 are done. Beautiful color. I'm gonna set them over here on my plate. I'm getting a little anxious. Maybe I should be letting them sit a little longer. All right, so taco's been on for a couple minutes. We're gonna go ahead and remove these cheesy, meaty goodness, and we're gonna set it right here. All right, so here we are, cutting into the tacos. I wanna just show this to y'all. This is gonna be the last shot of the night. Everybody's starting to get hungry. My tacos inside, look at that cheesy goodness. So I'm gonna actually take my tacos inside. I'm gonna put a little onion, a little cilantro, and just eat that up. So this is what I'm gonna be eating tonight. All right, well, we just got finished wrapping up cooking the tacos on my Tribal Fire Grill. I hope y'all appreciated it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you do like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to make more videos that are just as entertaining, and I'm hoping to continue getting better at making the videos. One way I can get better at making videos is having y'all's comments below. Give me some criticism, give me feedback, help me become a better video maker and creating better content. So I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until we see you next time, take care.
I have made tacos.
That is a true thing.
What do you think this one is? I have made them on a tribal fire.
What was your job before you beat Bobby Flay?
I was a professional food taster. Eat them up.
Lacey on the cool side, but what are you trying to make?
A couple for the kids.
Alright.
We have the baker
I like it.
making a cheese roll up. She's not accustomed to the Tribal Fire Grill,
There you go.
but as you can see, anybody can use it.